머리 바꾸고 나서 거울 보고 무슨 생각해요?
정말 이런 질문을 원했어요. 오버워치 얘기 좀 그만하라고. 이런 걸 물어봐야죠. 정말 사이다 같은 질문. 무슨 생각했어요?
머리 바꾸고 제 얼굴을 무슨 생각했냐고.
거울 딱 보고.
참 제 류재홍 생각했는데. 류재홍이네 이렇게 생각했어요.
아주 안 믿는 분위기예요.
근데 잘생겼다 생각하진 않아요.
근데 어떻게 대답을 하는지 뭘 하는지 다르게 야유를 하실 거면
Ryujehong is one of the most famous and best Overwatch players to ever play the game. He has been repeatedly mentioned as the best player even by other professional players who are not on his team, Lunatic-Hai.
류재홍 선수?
So what makes Ryujehong a force to be reckoned with in the pro Overwatch scene? Ryujehong was already an established first-person shooter veteran before he appeared in Overwatch. He started his road to pro with the original Counter-Strike, growing his love for playing first-person shooter games. In Counter-Strike 1.6, he was part of one of the best amateur clans named Elysium Cell. He was then drafted into Lunatic-Hai, a Korean esports team, to start his career as a professional Counter-Strike player. After his time in Counter-Strike 1.6, he transitioned over to a Korean first-person shooter game called Special Force 2, developed by Netmarble. Special Force 2 was the next big competitive first-person shooter in Korea, which made Ryujehong make the switch from Counter-Strike. During this period, Ryujehong won the trophy in a Special Force 2 PC tournament and was drafted to STX Seoul in 2011, where he contributed greatly to the team's success, as STX Seoul won the champion title in 2011 and 2012. His prowess with the sniper rifle earned him the Best Sniper Award in 2012, a title many Special Force 2 players sought after. Unfortunately, the Special Force 2 pro scene disbanded after 2012, which made Ryujehong switch back to Counter-Strike. After a year of playing as a pro in the Counter-Strike online scene in 2013, Ryujehong served in the Korean military, which he finished in 2016. When he returned, a game called Overwatch had hit store shelves and the PC bangs across the country. Because Ryujehong was already a seasoned veteran in professional first-person shooter games when Overwatch released, he was already experienced playing well under pressure. He not only possessed great accuracy and effective character maneuvers, but also the ability to improvise and make optimal decisions out of unexpected in-game situations. But the main reason he became a household name in professional Overwatch and the public is because of his mastery of the hero,
Anna, reporting for duty.
There are three features which make Ryujehong's Ana stand out from the rest. First is Ryujehong's effective utilization of Ana's skills. Ana has two skills, Sleep Dart and Biotic Grenade. Ana fires a dart from her sidearm, which puts the target to sleep when hit. Sleep Dart has a 0.5 second prep time before it's fired, and if hit, the target sleeps for 5.5 seconds. The sleeping target wakes up if they are damaged during the time of sleep, but has a waking up animation of 0.5 seconds. You can use the Sleep Dart to keep an enemy out of the battle for several seconds, or to take a target out with your team or by yourself to gain the upper hand. Ryujehong knows when to use the Sleep Dart to turn the tide of the game and executes the shot successfully. He anticipates which enemy ultimates are coming and accurately puts them to sleep to make the battle a 5 versus 6, allowing his team to save their ults for the next fight. By doing so, his team can accumulate even more ultimate charge and advantages, often leading to a victory. Ryujehong uses exceptionally low EDPI. This is probably due to his long career in classical first-person shooter games, where fights happen usually within the screen's field of view, and results are highly dependent upon the reaction time within that view. Having a lower EDPI will increase his accuracy at the expense of more mouse movement, but Overwatch is not like classical first-person shooter games. Overwatch is a much more fast-paced game with a lot more movement and action on screen. Trying to sleep dart a fast-moving target such as Winston, Tracer, and Genji would require more mouse movement in order to even land the crosshair on the enemy. Ryujehong and Who Are You, the DPS for Lunatic-Hai, has confirmed while streaming that Ryujehong uses the DPI change button on his Logitech G402 mouse to raise the EDPI temporarily to follow the fast targets and hit them with the sleep dart. The idea behind this technique is he gets to retain his accumulated muscle memory from his past first-person shooter career to stay accurate while compensating for the slower screen movement by switching the DPI settings on the fly. Ana throws a grenade which heals or disables healing in an area upon contact, depending on who is hit. To enemies, Biotic Grenade deals 60 points of damage and blocks any sequential healing and shows the health bar of inflicted enemies to allies for a duration of time. Blocking the ability to heal can contribute greatly to critical picks and make enemy healers temporarily useless in the fight. To allies, Biotic Grenade instantly gives 100 points of healing and buffs them temporarily, to receive 50% more from sequential healing. Instant healing in of itself is significant, and the healing buff can really save dying allies from getting picked off by healing them faster. Ryujehong uses the Biotic Grenade both aggressively and defensively to initiate a fight or ensure the survival of his teammates and himself. He understands when the healing debuff is fatal to the enemy composition and makes effective hits that carry the fight for his team. He also knows how to save his grenade to defend himself against flanking enemies. Landing the grenade on yourself and the enemy gives 60 points of damage and heal block to the enemy, while giving buff of 50% more sequential healing plus 100 points of instant healing to nearby allies and oneself. He usually holds onto at least one of these two skills, Sleep Dart and Biotic Grenade, to put pressure on enemy flankers closing in on him, making their dives much more risky. The second feature of what makes Ryujehong's Ana great is his accuracy and the ability to quickscope. Ana's scope shots are hit scan, meaning the shot will land the moment you pull the trigger. Not having to worry about the projectile speed allows for more accuracy. The downside is that staying zoomed restricts the view, thus making Ana vulnerable to flanking enemies. Left-click hipfire gives a wider view than the scoped one, but the shots act as projectiles, which takes a certain amount of travel time to land on the target. Ryujehong uses a mixture of both, and as he was one of the best snipers in his previous career in Special Force 2, his shots are very precise. One key skill that Ryujehong used in Special Force 2 was quickscoping. Quickscoping is where you zoom in with a sniper rifle and fire before the scoping motion is complete. In Special Force 2, sniper hipfires were inaccurate, for there wasn't even a crosshair without scoping. Ryujehong would anticipate that the shot would land on the middle of the screen and shoot before the scope view even appeared. In Overwatch, quickscoping affords accuracy and hit scan shots of a scoped view with the wider view of hipfire. With this, his Ana can provide instant healing to allies and damage to enemies with each shot while still staying alert to enemy threats. His strong quickscoping ability allows him to adapt and react to different situations better than other Ana players. The third feature is his ability to improvise and make the best out of unfavorable situations. Ryujehong has shown many witty maneuvers and decision-making that often led to his team winning the fight. He would conduct excellent strafing maneuvers to stay alive and buy time, and work with Lunatic-Hai's other healer counterpart, Toby, to resist and survive even the most difficult situations.
리재홍 끌어야 돼요. 리재홍 끌었어요. 네, 좋아. 어떻게 몰라요? 네, 수비 와라. 루나틱-하이 모여라. 루나틱-하이. 어쨌다고요? 네, 루나틱-하이 모여라. 왔어요. 짱이야. 네, 이건 끝까지 보죠.
There are many reasons to praise his wits. He knows how to play smart and gain the upper hand through even small advantages gained from better decisions. Making the best decision is difficult to conduct often because there is no guidebook with the correct answers. To be able to make the call and conduct novel and innovative plays, one must know how to play calmly under pressure. Ryujehong indeed has that quality from his long career in the first-person shooter pro scene. The thing is, these strengths are similarly resembled in his other hero selections too. Though he is renowned as a skilled support, he was a McCree Zarya main before Ana came out. He has shown a variety of different heroes in which he performed at a professional level, such as Sombra, Mei, and Soldier, especially in Apex Season 3. Due to this, many Overwatch pros praise Ryujehong for his ability as a flex. Although Lunatic-Hai required Ryujehong to work mainly as a healer, he is indeed capable of so much more. Being a sufficient flex provides more room for Ryujehong to adapt to different situations and change the game. Recently, Ana received a damage buff from 60 to 70. Not as good as when the damage was 80, but the buff will be enough to kill 200 hit point heroes with only 3 or 2 shots and a grenade. Hopefully, we'll be able to see Ryujehong's Ana a bit more in the Overwatch League.